Hey guys, continuing to work this Kenseth 2020 McDonald's car, and just one of the things that I don't want to say is upsetting, but it's a little just frustrating, I guess, with Pato's decals. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love his decals; they're terrific. I'd hate working with anything else, but every once in a while they cause me a little trouble because I'm trying to make the perfect car, right? So let me show you this decal set. And I've asked him before about this, and apparently he can't do it. There's various lines in the decal set, like these roof flaps. You can see there's like just a little line there that goes this way and this way. And I would prefer that it's not there, because there's already roof lines on the car, and those lines don't always line up with the car, and it would just be better if they weren't there, but apparently he can't remove them. And it also includes these pins. See these hood pins? Well, these are the trunk pins, but see these here, these four? And if you can see real closely, this one is actually on the M. These other three are not. This one's on the M, so it overlaps ever so slightly. And I point that out because on the car, when I put this M in place, I'm trying to get it as centered as possible, right? Right smack in the middle. The M needs to be centered. Well, can you see that little silver on the side of the M right there? It doesn't line up with the actual hood pin on the car. So, yeah, it's just, again, I'm trying to make a perfect car, but it doesn't line up, and when things don't line up, it rubs me the wrong way, right? So, in order to get that to line up, I'd have to move the M over to this little hood pin, but that would, again, make it not centered. So you choose the lesser of two evils, kind of like when you vote. I think I've said that before. You choose the lesser of two evils. Nobody's perfect. So you decide to get it centered on the car, and you live with that little mark being over there. And so, it is what it is. But all in all, this car's coming together pretty well. I put this nose piece on yesterday. I have a little wrinkle right here, but all in all, it's not too bad. Whenever you get this particular nose and this piece that a little bit of the decal rolls up inside of this opening on this Chevy Camaro, it's kind of a pain to get it in there and to get it flat. So having a little ripple, so to say, is almost expected. So I'm going to put the decals on this side. I've got the back on already. What was really nice, actually, is this lined up really well. Better than the Twix car I was working. So this piece here is kind of one piece. As you can see, what's in the water here for this other side, it's just one large piece. This M here, I separated it from this piece, and it lines up really well with the window and this back here. You can see that. It looks really nice. So I'm real happy with that aspect of it. It lines up real nice with the body of the car. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So let me get a couple more of these pieces in here. Goodyear piece, signature. So while those are sitting, let me show you a couple other things I got working. So I've got just about done with these two cars. I've got to do a little paint there. I haven't done that yet. I finished the decaling of this car. I've got to paint the black along the sides and the bottom. I've got to add the decals on the front quarter panel or front fender here for that car to be done. Got another McDonald's car I'm going to work. And so yeah, so let me get to this. So I'm working these. This is a Brandon Jones KCMG. It's a 2017 Xfinity Camaro. And same thing with this one. This is a 2018 Kyle Larson Xfinity Camaro DC Solar. So as I was putting these together the other day, I realized, oh crap, this is not an Xfinity Camaro. This is a Cup Camaro. And there's a couple little differences between the two. First and foremost, the biggest thing is this roof. The distance from here to here on this car compared to the Camaro for the Xfinity is very big. So you can see this, if I can get that to line up. So this would be on a regular Xfinity Camaro, and you can see how much longer the die-cast body is than a decal set is. It's not even close. The other thing, of course, is the spoiler. The spoiler sits back much lower than the Xfinity car. So I can't use these. I can't use these for those decals. So just an oversight that I had, and one of the guys, I think it's CDNC, you called it out and noticed that it's not the right Camaro. So I've got these other Camaros, Xfinity Camaros from I think 2015 that I can use, and so I'm going to start tearing these apart here, and they'll be fine. I'll be able to use these because the Camaro really didn't change a whole lot once they went to the Camaro. In I think it was, they went from the, I can't remember what it was, Impala maybe. They went to the Camaro. The body really didn't change a whole lot, so I'll be able to use these for these 2017, 2018 cars. So, but yeah, I now have the dilemma. I won't say dilemma of what do I do with these four cars. And I was looking at other customs that I have to make that are 2019 or even 2020 Cup Camaros, and right now I don't have any. I don't have any in stock, or that are white. Okay, so this is where it gets a little fun, right? Or I could have a little fun, right? I could put these decals on a white car. I don't know what that would look like, but this is a Camaro. Although it's supposed to be red, I could do white. That might obviously be a fantasy car, a really odd car. With the white decals, I typically don't do that, but I don't know. It might gain some interest in somebody to have a one-off, crazy custom like that. The other car that I have, the other set of decals that I have. Let me show you. Should have pulled it out. This. How would this look on a white car? Obviously this is typically black with a flat dull coat finish on it. What if I did this over that white car? I don't know. What do you guys think? For now, I'm just gonna put these four back in the box and start working on these other ones. But I don't know, just an idea. If you guys think that would be a cool idea, if you think that somebody would be interested in it, and I could sell it. But yeah. So, anyways, that's what's happened with that, and yeah, again, just an oversight. but I'm not going to let them go to waste, of course. I'll just save them for another time, for another car. Okay, let's get some of these decals on here, and let's get this camera straight before I do that. I will tell you, I'm a little bit at a loss of what to do along this bottom edge. See this bottom edge here? This is a yellow side skirt, but it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, so a little bit of the red shows through. I mean, I could put it down here, but I still have a little bit of red that shows through here. So I usually kind of leave it up a little bit. Typically, if the side skirt's black, that's nice, because then I pre-paint this black behind here. But in this case, it's yellow. And I'm hesitant to paint it yellow, just because trying to match this yellow perfectly, that's what I would have to do in order to get it right. Black is black, white is white. But when you get into these other colors, especially with the decal going there, you need to match it. Now, I've done some times where I just paint this black. I pre-paint the back black, and even though the yellow doesn't come down, you can see the black there, and it doesn't look so bad, just because black hides stuff. So, I don't know, I might do that on the next car. It's a little too late right now that I got the decal in place. I mean, it doesn't look bad because most of the car's red, right? It doesn't look bad. You look at it on this side. It doesn't look bad that it's red down here at the bottom, but those are the things that I see. Those are the things that I look at. Ideally, it wouldn't be like that, but it is. Okay. All right. Let's get this Goodyear on. September 15th. I'm enjoying the change in seasons. The nights are getting a little bit cooler here in Virginia. Always love the fall. Not a big hot summer person. Like the fall when it's cooler in the mornings and, you know, just more pleasant to be out and about. Don't have to run the air conditioner as much. That's always nice as a homeowner. Alright, so this is going on there. This is a fairly simple car to make. Now that I know that this other piece lines up, and I'll get to that here in a minute. Now that I know that piece lines up, this is really a pretty easy car to put together. The nose on these Camaros are typically hard, but all in all, this one's not too difficult. Curious how this if this fuel door will line up. So it looks like it's off just a little bit. I'm going to be able to slide this way just a little bit. I'm careful, this is going to have to wrap in there just a tad bit. Got an email from a friend of mine today. His cat has cancer, and not expected to live for another week or two at the most. It's sad. I used to be kind of callous towards, I don't know, pets, and people losing their pets and acting like it's the end of the world, until I had a cat and he passed away. This makes you sad. It's really a sad time. It's crazy how a bond can develop between human being and an animal, and just the sorrow that comes with that separation. I've lost, obviously, people that are close to me, and that hurts for sure. Had a close friend die last year, actually, and I don't know, losing a family pet is really tough, and something that is hard to get through. Even if you get another one, you never forget that pet. I think it's neat how God allows us to have those joys and those memories, but also there's sorrow involved. And that sorrow helps us, I think, to be compassionate. I think God wants us to be compassionate to one another. But yeah, so that lined up pretty well. It's not a perfect over this fuel door. It's a little bit to the right and a little bit high, but it covers it pretty well. Yeah. Oh, I see something here. I see a little wrinkle. Not sure I'll be able to do anything about that. I see something. I don't normally like to get water and put it back on the decal once I've already dried it out, but I see a little wrinkle. Okay. I think there's just going to be a little wrinkle. It's not too bad. It's not too noticeable. Alright. Let's get this little signature in place. I was going to look and see what I did on this side. Credit One Bank. Okay, it's centered. This looks off a little bit. Just to move it to the right just a little bit. Like that. That's better. Okay, so now, this is a tricky part, right? This is the last decal to put on here. want to be careful grabbing it here. But getting this headlight piece on, that goes in here, this is kind of difficult. So you'll see how I work this. It's a little frustrating most of the time. Because it's got to go back into that groove that's in the it's got to be centered. And what they've put is like a little, in the die-cast body, there's like a little Chevy emblem that goes in here, so it's a raised surface. And in the other ones, it's typically just, it's completely smooth in there. So this sits on top of that. And then, yeah, everything else goes back here. Okay, that's not bad. Some fuzzy or something there. I like to pull it down just a little bit. I don't know, it looks pretty good. Sometimes you get it in place, you want to leave it, and it looks good. Moving it down, I don't know. Let me see. Be careful I didn't lift any of these other decals I just put on. Okay. There she is. I'll let that dry. Do a little touch up around, touch the hood pins, do the black along the roof lines. And do the black spoiler. And that's that. Pretty happy with that. So I wanted to, this last moment, I'm going to shake up this can of paint. I'm going to spray a little bit and cover up this little chip that I got on this Carb Smart car. So for this, I'm going to use this X-Acto blade. I had cleaned it off. And I had already shaken up the can of paint beforehand. So obviously I want to be careful not to get it on the window. And I want to be careful not to get it on any of the decals for sure. Well, really both are for sure, so. Yeah, I already got a little bit on the window. Because it's right there. It's hard not to. Be careful not to get too much at one time. Yeah, it's not perfect. The decal that's going there is not going to cover it up really either too well. I got a little string there. How'd that happen? Sometimes if I wet my finger, helps smooth it out as it's drying. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I think I may have just made it worse. It's not. Well, whenever you're patching something, it's never going to look the same. Trying to smash it down without it sticking to my finger. So I get a little saliva and just kind of push it in so it doesn't stick. So that's what it looks like. I've got a little spot down here as well. It looks just like a real small crack. Not sure if I should touch it or not. Because again, sometimes you can make it worse by trying to do something to it. So I'm just going to leave it for now. And I'll put some coats of clear sealer on it, see if that covers it up. If after that it doesn't, I may come back and do the same thing again and just touch up that little tiny spot. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's real tiny right there, right up next to the one. But yeah, sometimes the car's not perfect, and when you're doing custom work, this is what you run into from time to time. Things don't just, whether you got a problem with the decal set or the paint or whatever, you run into that, and you kind of do what you can to make it look as good as you can without ruining it. So this was a problem with the paint. This thing, paint's all good, but I got this little problem with the decal and the silver on the hood pin there for the M. So whatever, All right, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you. I do have a couple custom requests that I guess it's been a while. I'm making this Eric McClure number 14 Reynolds wrap, and I'm making this 2015 Ryan Blaney PPG. So those are a couple cars that I've got. I've had on my to-do list for a while that I'm finally getting to. So, all right, guys, God bless. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video out here.